So Monday.
It is. It's the Mondayest of Mondays, you guys. It's a really, really Monday is what it is.
Super Monday today.
Yeah, you guys, just in case you forgot, there's a free webinar happening tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, about how to protect your wealth. We all want to protect our wealth, right? And it's with Bulwark, our BFFs over there. So you can sign up at knowyourriskradio.com. You should totally do it because we all want to protect our money. Also, make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. You should do that too. Go to chicksontheright.com, which you should be doing every single day of your life. And then when you scroll down just a little bit, you can click on subscribe to Chicks. We're everywhere. It goes back and forth.
It goes like this. Yeah.
Right. So click on that and you can subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't already done that. Thank you.
We should do that. Geez.
What?
No Rumble. Rumble, it says we're having trouble streaming to Rumble. What the heck, Rumble?
Why you got to be like that, Rumble? Why you got to be like that?
I swear, Rumble is very, very touchy. So if you're trying to watch on Rumble, you can't watch.
Sorry. You're going to have to catch. We're in a million different places though right now.
Yeah. Check us out. Twitter, Locals, Facebook, YouTube. We're on all the places right now. Getter. We're also there too. Okay. So let's get into some headlines. There's a lot going on today and just a lot of weird stuff and unrelated stuff going on. But first things first, when you log on, if you are on Twitter, you're going to notice that Twitter has a new brand. So it's just
an X.
There's no more birdie, no more bird. Nope. It's just X. It's just X now. And
it's kind of severe. It's a little ominous, a little harsh.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm all about the rebranding. You know how I am about rebranding. I think it's good. You got to liven it up, keep people on their toes with the rebrands. I think that's great. And since he is the guy, Elon's the guy, he really likes the letter X.
He loves that letter, man.
He loves it. And so
the bird is gone. And I liked the bird. I liked, that was, Bird's tweet. And then that was the whole reason for, why do we need it to be this mean old black X?
Yeah. It reminds you of Carl, right? The bird.
It kind of does remind me of Clyde.
It reminds you of Clyde. I'm sorry, Clyde. The bird that lived in her garage. She's gonna have to mourn it is kind of weird. So we still call it a tweet, but it's an X.
Yeah. And now it's you can go to x.com and it redirects to Twitter, it becomes Twitter. So, and then when you first get onto the page, you'll see a little X in the middle of your screen and then it pops up. So it's just, I don't know why it has changed, but it has.
Yeah. That's kind of weird, but
as of last night.
All right.
All right. So we have a date set for the classified documents trial. So this is, of course, Trump's indictment about mishandling classified documents. There's been a lot of hullabaloo about when that trial was going to happen. Of course, the Trump team said, we want this to happen after the election. They tried to postpone it. The judge said no deal. And so now they've set the date. I'm not sure why it's so far in the future, but it's not going to be until May 20th. Of 2024, which just conveniently happens pretty much right when primaries are wrapped up.
Right. Well, it's in between the primaries and the actual election. It's sandwiched right in there. And so, it is kind of convenient, isn't it?
Yeah.
They did that. I think they did that on purpose, with purpose.
Yeah. That just seems, yeah. Anyway, so that date is set. There's going to be more hearings about Hunter Biden because his ex-BFF, Devin Archer, is going to testify in front of the committee, I believe this week. And the testifying is going to include information about how often, because apparently it happened more than once, Hunter had Joe Biden on speakerphone while he was conducting his shady business dealings with all of these foreign entities. So he's going to testify about that. And that should be pretty explosive testimony, I would imagine.
I bet that Marjorie Taylor Greene would probably talk about the shenanigans those ex-best friends had too. think about
some pictures.
Yeah. Seriously, can you imagine being best friends with him? I don't know why they're not best friends anymore. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know either.
No clue why you'd even want to be best friends with that guy.
It's people are saying that YouTube is not broadcasting us, but I also see comments coming in from YouTube. So I don't know what that's about either. But clearly, they're out to get us today. They are out to get us.
Yep.
All right. So that should, I think that testifying is happening this week. I could be wrong about that. I just know that it is going to happen. So we can be on the lookout for that. And speaking of Biden, I know people are sick and tired of him coming after things like, gas stoves, even though they try to pretend that they're not. They clearly are. And now the latest news is that starting in 2029, they're going to come after your water heaters too. So they're going to create or mandate that starting in 2029, only high efficiency hot water heaters be sold, which means, of course, that you're not going to have any hot water. You're going to have some lukewarm water if you're lucky, but you're not going to have like super hot scalding water. I like. And like,
yeah, that's what we were talking about. That. Yeah, my husband takes like the hottest showers imaginable.
Same.
And so it's not going to be pretty if they take hot water away from us. Listen, like this is weird. Don't you think it's weird?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all
everybody
controlling. It's all controlling bullshit that doesn't even affect the environment in any way.
You should not be able to control what kind of water heater that I get. That's not what the founders wanted. You weirdos.
It's just
God.
It's just
I
so
know.
dumb.
Only electric. It's all electric. It's so insane what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, this is completely fine. This is totally fine.
Yeah.
So we can look forward to that. Also, apparently there is at least one, and perhaps more than one, emotional support stripper in the Ukraine, taking care of Ukrainian soldiers in a way that only she knows how.
And we're probably paying for that too. We're probably it's a job, you guys. They call it a job. They don't call it a job for nothing. Yeah, the strippers are out
emotional
there.
Emotional support strippers.
So what do? They just go out there and they just take their clothes off in front of the soldiers and like
they do that.
They have a boom box next to them and they just start.
The one that I read about not only
so
scripts,
confused.
but also has relationships of an intimate nature with several different soldiers.
Okay, that's what, yes. So they're basically prostitutes. We're paying for prostitutes to go have sex with Ukrainian soldiers.
Although I don't know if they're paying as much as, I don't know how that's working out.
Nobody knows. All I know is that we're sending, hundreds of billions of dollars over there.
Right,
so
which is unaccounted for.
I'm sure some of it made it to a stripper somewhere.
That's probably true.
Right? Yeah. It's not making it to our streets that are falling apart. It's making it to Ukrainian strippers. I cannot believe this is a thing. This is an actual thing.
It's a thing, you guys. This is a thing that's
unbelievable.
It's happening. I wanted to remind everybody that 4patriots.com, the number 4patriots.com has the coolest solar go fridge that I want to give you the specs about because it's so cool, not just for disaster planning and emergency planning and that kind of thing. So because a lot of people have medicines that need to be refrigerated. And so it's not just food that you need to think about keeping cold in the event of a power outage, but medicine. Sometimes if you have refrigerated medicines, this is a must-have item. It's called the Solar Go Fridge, and I will just tell you some bullet points about it. It is a revolutionary solar-powered fridge on wheels that can protect your food, drinks, and medicine during power outages. It's also very handy for camping trips, so know that. It is not an ordinary cooler. It has advanced thermoelectric technology to create a refrigerator, freezer, and deep freezer all in one unit. It charges for free with the sun. The free solar panel is included. It's got a 42 quart capacity. It does hit sub-zero temperatures down to -8 degrees. Wow. It's free shipping to 48 states. I'm not sure. I'm assuming Alaska and Hawaii are excluded from free shipping. And because it's portable, it means you can take it with you anywhere, making sure that your essentials stay safe and cool, whether you're camping, fishing, you're doing whatever, or whether there's a power outage. So it's just one of the other really, really cool products that 4patriots.com has in their arsenal of amazing products that are specifically for emergency preparedness. And you can check out the Solar Go Fridge and every other emergency supply product that 4Patriots has at 4patriots.com. unrest.com. You can also get 10% off of your first purchase when you use code CHICKS. So check that out.
I was talking to my daughter yesterday. We were at my friend's ranch down the road, and we were there for a little while. And it's like 257 degrees here in Texas. It was that yesterday. And so when we were done, we were so thirsty, and we were like, okay, I was either going to run to like the convenience store or run home. And I looked at her, and I'm like, back in the day, they didn't have refrigerators. They had nothing. Imagine we're so spoiled.
Oh my God.
We're just so spoiled by all the things. Like, not only that, but we would all smell so bad.
Yeah. And people still got busy.
Yes, they did. They got busy. I mean, it's like, it's crazy. Like, I think I cannot imagine living in this state without some sort of just, I don't know, a reprieve from the sun every once in a while, you know what I mean? Like, or just having air conditioning for just a couple minutes, because man, it is hot here. I mean, I love the heat, don't get me wrong, but how do people do it? People did it.
I was just thinking that to myself yesterday too, like how useless I would have been living in like the Little
Pioneer
House on
days.
The Prairie era. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the thing. We're so soft now. Mm-hmm. So soft. I mean, I just like ice makers. Just give me my ice maker. I can't imagine not having one, Crazy.
And then lastly, before we get to some videos, there are rumors, and I guess it started with Vanity Fair and it's kind of spread since then, that Trump and Tucker is potentially going to be doing some sort of event with Trump on the night of the debates instead of Trump going to the debates. And of course, Tucker doesn't care about Fox, so he's not interested in protecting their ratings for debate night. And so this is the rumor that he and Trump are going to do something together to try to pull away viewership from the debate.
I hope it's just a rumor, though, because it's not just about Fox and like revenge on Fox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about the American people and us being able to see this whole thing play out and see
the way that it's supposed to.
Right. I mean, so I really hope that he's thinking about that too.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's true or not, or how much validity there is to it, but that is the rumor. So
I hope it's just a rumor. There's a lot of rumors. I hope it's just a rumor. We got a thing from Jay Carter in the comment.
And I love it. He says, I heard we were sending them Hummers. I thought that they were Jeeps.
The greatest comment. Ukrainian strippers. Mm-hmm. Strippers.
Oh my God, that's perfect. All right. So let's get to some videos, shall we? Because
let's do it.
Even though I know it was like earlier last week, it wasn't even at the end of the week where we were talking about the Jason Aldean hullabaloo and the fact that CMT had taken his video down from their channel because he had the audacity to show actual footage from the summer of 2020 in his video. And the lyrics relate to this kind of stuff doesn't play in small town America. And so there was nothing mentioning race in the song lyrics, but that's how people took it. They took it as either super racist or super pro-gun. And people are crazy. And so everybody was trying to cancel them. And so what happens when someone like a Jason Aldean and something as innocent as that song tries to get canceled or somebody tries to cancel it, what happens is that song shoots right up to number one. Yeah. As it should, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And usually what happens is that person will kowtow and apologize, which I'm really freaking glad that he didn't.
Not what happened at all.
Not at all, which, I think they're starting to see the tide turn a little bit, which is great.
Which is really great. And what I love too is that so much of the country music community is rallying to Jason because he's right. And he doubled down. Like he had himself a nice little speech. This runs a little bit long, but I think it's just so powerful. Not just what he says, but the audience reaction to him. So here he is at a weekend show.
Our country, I want to see it restored to what it once was before all this bullshit started happening to us. I love my country, I love my family, and I will do anything to protect that. I can tell you that right now. But here's what I want to say. A lot of things out there, and one thing I love, you guys know how it is this day and age, cancel culture is a thing. That's something that If people don't like what you say, they try and make sure that they can cancel you, which means try and ruin your life, ruin everything. One thing I saw this week was a bunch of country music fans that could see through a lot of the bullshit, all right? I saw country music fans rally like I've never seen before, and it was pretty badass to watch, I gotta say. Thank you guys so much. So I had people ask me, man, everything's going on with this song. Do you think you're gonna play it tonight? Do you think you're not gonna play it? And I said, you know, people that come to my shows, you guys know what I'm about. You know what I stand for. I've never shied away from that at all. And I know a lot of you guys grew up like I did. You kind of have the same values, the same principles that I have, which is we want to take our kids to a movie and not worry about some asshole coming in there shooting up the theater, right? So when somebody asked me, hey man, you think you're gonna play this song tonight? The answer was simple. The people have spoken, and you guys spoke very, very loudly this week.
So he played himself that song.
Well, good for him. You should play that song. It's his song. It's a great song.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even listen. I have no thoughts about the song and its goodness per se. It's not something I would have ever listened to, but I bought it because I wanted it. I wanted to support the song, even if it's not my kind of music.
It's a good song. I like it. It's a good song. And I live in a small town, so I get it. You know what I mean? I get all of this. And it has nothing to do with race whatsoever.
No, of course
it has everything to do with defending your family and like just small town values, which are completely lost in this country. Well, in a lot of places. But you know what? Small towns still exist, and small town people still exist, as evidenced by that crowd.
And they take care of each other. That is what they're all about. And that was the point of the song.
Yeah.
Cody Johnson, who I'm not familiar with because, again, I'm not a country music follower. But like I said, country music is rallying around Jason Aldean.
Good.
Rightfully so. And so here's a shout out from Cody at his concert to Jason Aldean.
Another song. In this, and Jason Aldean, if you're seeing this video, you keep it up, brother. You do you, boo-boo. If being patriotic makes you an outlaw, then by God, I'll be an outlaw. I'm gonna play you an outlaw song. It goes like this. Here we go.
If being a patriot makes me an outlaw, then I'm an outlaw.
See, this is the thing. I hope that the left is paying attention to this, though. Because I think they believe that they're in such a position that they can just squelch and cancel everybody now. And people are like, mm-mm. And it's kind of like what Aldean said. I mean, we see the bullshit, right? So I think the tide is turning. People are tired of this crap. They're so tired of it. They're tired of all the madness. They're tired of the insanity. They're tired of all the stuff in our schools. They're tired of everything. We're just tired of it. And so we're starting to call it, people are starting to call it out, and we're not apologizing anymore. And I'm so glad that he stood up for himself, because we need to see more and more and more of that on our side of the aisle, because it's just madness. All of it is madness.
Well, there are people like Sunny Hostin who are big, big mad that this song is now #1. She believes that this is just more evidence of how racist
for crying out
we
loud.
all are. Here's Sunny.
And unfortunately, this became the #1 song on U.S. iTunes. We have a problem in this country about race, and the biggest problem is we refuse to admit that it exists.
Well, don't you think that a lot of this big city, small town businesses racist is about race? The cities have more black people than the small towns.
Of course,
and
They're so
I mean, when was the last time these broads ever went into a small town?
right.
Seriously, when was the last time that Joy Behar and Sunny walked into? I'd love to see them walk into my small town. They would just be they would think that they were better than everybody else. They'd be horrified. They'd be like, oh my God, you only have a Dollar General here? I can't, like, what? They would hate it. They would not last 2 seconds. And you know what they would find too, is that not everybody's white.
Oh yeah.
In fact,
one of them was talking about Macon, Georgia, which maybe is where, I don't know, Jason Aldean is from.
Yep.
And it's actually 54% Black.
Yep.
And they were like, this is such a racist town. And I mean, they just have no idea what they're talking about.
Because it's Georgia. So they just automatically assume that it's racist. Okay. No. I mean, the people in my town, we've got Hispanics, we've got Blacks, we're all just, it is not just white people. And so they need to maybe get out of wherever I guess they're in New York. Get out of New York City, that hellhole, maybe go visit a small town and you'd see for yourself, but they're never going to do that.
No, they won't. They'll just sit there and be big mad.
Right. And complain about how racist small towns are. That's not what it was about.
There was a comedian on Gutfeld. I can't remember his name. This is so terrible that I don't remember his name, but he was mocking the reaction that people have had to some of the footage that was in Jason Aldean's video, which of course included actual real life scenes from the destruction and mayhem that took place during the summer of 2020. And so he made a really good point about this. Here he is.
I watched the video. What baffles my mind is, okay, you can burn the place down. You can drag innocent elderly women out of a car and beat them, kick them. You can light churches on fire, but just don't write no songs about it.
Exactly.
Now you're crossing the racial tension line.
Exactly.
It's Jim Brewer. That's Jim Brewer. That's who that is.
That's right.
He used to be on. His name. I think he was on Saturday Night Live for like 5 minutes. I think maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, he's funny. He's so right too. Like, what is that? Why is it that you can't? It's just footage. That's why I thought it was so absurd too. I mean, it's like he put actual footage. It's not like he recreated the footage they were paid actors. You know, exactly. That was actual footage from the riot. So why is that so inconvenient?
I mean,
and ask David Dorn and his, ask David Dorn's. Remember David Dorn's his wife? Like his wife was it David Dorn? Is that his name? The guy that was killed. Yeah. His wife was on a couple shows. I know, talking about how the song is great.
Oh,
the song is great. Yeah, the song is great, and it has nothing to do with race whatsoever. It has everything to do with protecting your family, protecting your small business, protecting yourself, and then, exhibiting your constitutional rights as an American. That's what it is. And small town values. And she likes the song. She was talking about that.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make it into race. And she's like, my husband died in one of those riots. And she didn't make it about race, I
mean, that's the thing, is why did he die? Because people were mad about George Floyd. Why? That makes no sense. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of race, Kamala gave a recent speech where I guess she just read something on Twitter where somebody said, oh my God, do you know what DeSantis is doing now? He's reteaching slavery to suggest that Black people learned valuable skills when they were slaves. And so she took that and ran with it in this speech. And then she got promptly called out by Scott Jennings. You're going to see both of those clips are right here.
We fought a war to end the sin of slavery, a civil war.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
Speed it up.
Died by the untold numbers.
Some guy
in that war, many of whom fought and died because of their belief that slavery was a sin against man, that it was inhumane, that it was not reflective of who we believe ourselves to be as a country, and certainly not reflective of who we aspire to be. So who then would dare deny this history?
Nobody.
Let us not let these politicians who are trying to divide our country.
Oh my
win.
God.
Because you see, what they are doing is they are creating these unnecessary debates. This is unnecessary to debate whether enslaved people benefited from slavery. Are you kidding me? Are we supposed to debate that?
Well, it's amazing to me that how little Kamala Harris apparently has to do, that she can read something on Twitter one day and be on an airplane the next to make something literally out of nothing. This is a completely made-up deal. I looked at the standards. I even looked at an analysis of the standards in every instance where the word slavery or slave was used. I even read the statement of the African-American scholars that wrote the standards, not Ron DeSantis, but the scholars. Everybody involved in this says this is completely a fabricated issue. And yet, look how quickly Kamala Harris jumped on it. So the fact that this is her best moment, a fabricated matter, is pretty ridiculous in my opinion.
Let's get at it.
Yeah, and I love how she tries to distance herself from the politicians who are trying to divide us.
She's projecting.
That's you.
Do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's you are that. Like, how dare you say that they're the politicians and you're what are you? What would you call yourself? What are you? Yeah. I mean, you were put there for a reason by a bunch of politicians that are just like you, who is a politician, because you filled a box, like you checked a box. Give me a break. Yeah.
Everything she ever says, everything Democrats say is
always
about projecting. Always.
Yeah. And it's usually a lie. God. And in this case, it was a lie. Like, she ran with a lie again. Mm-hmm. And it's for fear mongering. It's to try to scare people. It's like, if you want to talk about the Civil War, if you want to talk about that time, we can talk about the difference between Democrats and Republicans. We can do that too, but they never wanted. That's very inconvenient for them.
Yeah, it's very, very, very inconvenient. Quick reminder that if you are looking to taste the best tasting olive oil in the world, it comes from fresh pressed olive oil. This is the mastermind of TJ Robinson, who is also known as the olive oil hunter, because he literally hunts the world for the best small farms that have the best olives that can be used for making olive oil. And what's great about fresh pressed olive oil is that there is nothing fresher. I mean, it's coming to you as fresh as possible, just squeezed, or whatever you do to olives to make the olive oil. They're just harvested. You are never going to find anything on a supermarket shelf which is as fresh as what you get from fresh pressed olive oil. And this is a full-size bottle, okay? And they come in different sort of boldness flavors. So if you like just a super mild oil, or if you like a really bold flavor, you can use this for dipping, for salad dressing on its own. It's just the best tasting stuff, and it's super heart healthy. So if you're not already including olive oil as part of your diet, you should be, and you should definitely be including it from fresh pressed olive oil. You can try a delicious full-size bottle just like this for $1. Really,
it's
you're
so worth
it
it.
Free, and you're
so
just
worth
taking
it.
in $1 for shipping. That's all. And it is so worth it. It is unlike any olive oil you have ever tasted. And so get your free bottle with just $1 for shipping at chicksloveoliveoil.com. chicksloveoliveoil.com. Your mind is going to be blown, because mine was. I was like, olive oil I need to like choose olive oil. I thought they were all the same. Oh no, they're not. They are not the same.
And they're so good.
Not by a long shot are they the same. chicksloveoliveoil.com. All right, let's move on, because as we know, we all went through that censorship hearing last week, which was really something. And Democrats were behaving really, really badly during it. RFK Jr. went on with Maria Bartiromo and just had a very nice 15-second summary of how dangerous censorship is. We're going to kick this montage of videos off with that.
When we look back in history, they're never the good guys. And it's inevitable that if you do start censoring speech, because government abuses every power that it's given. And if government suddenly has the capacity to censor its critics, it has a license for any atrocity.
So you thought...
That's exactly right.
Oh God, he's 200% correct. Like, so correct. Can they not see that?
They can't. They can't. And they can't even see that the behavior that they were engaging in during that hearing was, in fact, censorship. Somebody put together a montage of all the key players, Schiff, Wasserman, Schultz, Plaskett, all these people, just outright denying what they were doing. And it's utterly amazing to hear the words come out of their faces. Check this out.
I don't think you want to bring bigots before the Congress, but apparently that's par for the course with this majority.
We were trying to make sure that he didn't cause more harm with his outrageous testimony.
I don't think he's being censored. He can say whatever he wants and wherever he wants, but he doesn't get a right to testify before a committee of Congress.
Oh, that's not censorship. Censorship would not be allowing someone to speak. He can speak. That doesn't give him necessarily the ability to have to do it in the halls of Congress.
Because I'm more important than he is. Don't you see? We're way more important. We're up here and you're down here. He doesn't have the right to talk out loud in front of the people.
Even though he was invited by the committee, they're trying to say he doesn't have the right to speak in front of the committee?
No, an American citizen doesn't have the right to do that. Only me, because I'm up here and you're down. This is the thing. It's that elitist attitude. I just cannot stand that with these people.
Yeah,
we pay for you. Like, we are your employers. Like, get a grip. Unreal. Yes, he has. And that's the thing. It's like they act as if, listen, he can speak, but we don't have to hear him. Nobody has to hear him.
Right.
Like, what in the world is that? You're censoring him. That's exactly what you're doing.
And they are the government doing it. So it's not like they can push this off on, oh, well, it's a third-party platform. They can deplatform him and they're a private business. No, you are the government.
Yeah.
And you are trying to shut down his speech. There's no, that is the definition of censorship.
And if they can do it to RFK, they can do it to any of us.
And they have been.
He's a freaking Kennedy, you guys. He's basically one of theirs that they hate, right? And they've made him look like he's some sort of demon. But if they can do it to him, man, they can do it to any single one of us.
And they do. They have been. They are constantly.
Right.
And so just to give you an example of what an absolute puppet Stacey Plaskett is, there is this video clip going viral right now on social media of her staffer who is sitting directly behind her. And so there's footage of this. This staffer, there is no way that she is not on meth or some sort of like stay awake for days drug, because the rabid look on her face is absolutely terrifying. But what's interesting about this clip, that when you look at her, you'll notice it's subtle, but you'll see it. She is mouthing every single word along with Stacey Plaskett.
So creepy.
Clearly, she wrote out every single word that Stacey Plaskett read during that hearing. And then there's a moment that you'll also see where Stacey said represent instead of misrepresent. And so Meth Girl immediately corrects her. And so it's extraordinary to watch this happen. The eyes, you guys, look at the eyes.
Mr. Chair, and good morning to everyone. Just some administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce him to the record.
Oh my God.
Page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Gloria Demlow, who you just spoke about, which took place on July 17, 2023. In that line, she says, the question was asked, okay, if someone were to leave here today, were to leave this interview and were to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden, that the contents belonged to Hunter Biden, and that the contents had not been manipulated in some way, would they be representing what you said, correct? Answer by Ms. Daniel. They would be representing what I said, because I don't have much knowledge of that. They would be misrepresenting what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. Because this committee likes to misrepresent or leave off complete sentences of what individuals said.
What
I want
was that?
I want the plane lady to get up and go, that MFer is not real. That's what I want right now. She was so creepy. That woman. No.
Oh my God.
No.
She was high. There's no way that is a normal. That's not normal. That's not normal behavior. It was not.
What do you want to bet? She just does not have much of a social life, that chick.
Oh my
She's
God.
just, yeah. It's and it makes you realize too that those are the people who are running the country.
Yeah.
Those are it's not the people who are out front, it's the people behind the scenes. We've heard that from a lot of people like in the industry. Like that's actually how it works. It's
Which
all
is
of
terrifying because she was maybe 24, 25.
Yep, exactly.
And tweaking. Like, I mean,
she's on something.
She is on something. That was crazy.
Exactly.
Speaking of RFK, now, the Democrats are just absolutely disowning him from their party completely. Here's Donnie Deutsch telling Mika and Morning Joe how he's the exact same as Trump and that he's totally crazy.
You said the quite out loud, the parallels between Trump and Bobby Kennedy Jr. are kind of stunning. They're both very, very charismatic media figures that understand the media. As you said, they'll throw these grenades out and let them explode and then walk away and go, oh, I didn't do anything. And he's taking the greatest family brand name in U.S. history, Kennedy, and dumping all over it. And it's just, the Kennedys have had a lot of tragedies over the years, but I can't think of any greater blemish than what he's doing out there. And I think he's not well. I mean, I think there's something, you can explain all you want, but for him to throw out the controversy he throws on this latest anti-Semitic trope, I think he's fallen and he can't get up. And I think there's something very wrong with Bobby Kennedy Jr. And going back to one of the earlier segments in the show, God forbid this lunatic decides to run as a third party and the damage that would do. This is a very dangerous guy with a very storied name that is casting a dark shadow over it.
Dangerous to you. He's dangerous to you and your narrative. That's the thing. I mean, it's nuts, isn't it? They're trying to paint him as mentally ill. Yeah. And listen, there are you can draw a comparison between him and Trump because they tell the truth. And these freaking people don't like it. They hate the truth. They want to be able to have their narrative, have their power, and be able to implement their narrative, and everybody just be pacified. They have the power. They're up there. We're down here. Listen to the narrative. Take your medicine and shut up. That's what they want. And Trump is, Trump's like, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, which is why everybody loved him, right? Same thing with RFK. He's less abrasive, I think, than Trump. Yeah. He's just like, he just comes in. He's like, I'm just going to tell the truth. This is how I'm just speaking how I'm going to tell you what I think is true. And you shouldn't squelch me. They hate that. Well, they want him to toe the line.
Saying that he was being racist. He was using racist tropes.
How
are they going to say that about the studies that he was actually referring to?
Right.
Because that's the whole reason that he was talking about how COVID or how vaccines impacted certain racial groups, because those were the studies.
Right.
I mean, the studies were the studies. You can't call the studies racist if the results are, wow, this is weird. It looks like different demographics are impacted differently. That's just data.
Liberals can, though, Mock. Liberals can call them racist because if this is what they do. They call everything racist. Everything is racist. Everything. Now, if they don't want to have a discussion with you about something, if they can't handle the truth, they automatically throw out, you're racist, you're homophobe, you're an anti-Semite, which is what they've done with him. And now they're going with the whole, he's a lunatic, he's mentally ill, he's unfit. Dude, take your shirt off, hit the floor and see if you can go toe to toe with him on push-ups.
Yeah.
I'd like to see who's unfit next to one another, you or him. This is the thing that's just so absurd with these people. It's like they think that we can't see what they're doing. And they've done it so much and with so many people, so many times that it's at this point, it's like, most people with the firing synapse in their brain understands exactly what they're doing. And it's like, we're on to you. Just shut up. Like, we know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And they just keep trying to do it. So it's not working, Donnie douche. God. I swear that guy.
I know people keep throwing out this Trump Kennedy ticket. For so many reasons, that's a terrible idea. Number one, Kennedy will never do it. Trump might. Kennedy would never do it because he disagrees wildly about Trump, with Trump policies. But secondly, let's just think this through, okay? Kennedy is a Democrat. What happens if he's the tie-breaking vote in the Senate? Is that what we want? is we want a VP that is going to actually go the way of Democrats in a tie-breaking vote in the Senate. Can we just calm down about RFK Jr.? Because people are not thinking clearly. Like they're getting so excited. And the problem is that it's so many people on the right getting excited about him. So Democrats, I don't think they're in danger at all if RFK Jr. were to run as an independent. I think Trump would be impacted negatively by it at this point. You know what I mean?
I think
Republicans have fallen in love with him.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the reason that that's the case is because he does have similarity, because we like the truth.
Right.
We're hungry. We're like thirsting for the truth at this point from somebody who is a leader, and that's why people on the right are attracted to him, is because he speaks the truth and he doesn't give a shit what people think about it. And he's going to keep saying the truth. Yeah. And there's something to be said for that.
It's super admirable.
It's an endearing quality. It's like, I love to see that in leaders. I hope that we see more of that. I mean, I feel like we're starting to see a couple more leaders. Like I think Vivek does it a little bit, but he's just not as outspoken as an RFK or a Trump. So, I mean, there's just, it's attractive to us on the right. The left hates it. The left hates the truth. They like living in their little fake world where everything is sunshine and roses when it's actually not. We want reality. And so we're attracted to somebody who gives it to us straight.
I don't know of any, I never hear any Democrats talking favorably about RFK Jr.
They hate him.
So, because it used to be he was polling at 20% when he first entered the Democrat race, and now he's like somewhere in the 14%.
It's crazy.
Because Democrats are turning off.
Because they have a campaign, like a major just smear campaign against this guy. When people start calling him things like a lunatic, you're mentally unfit.
Yeah.
Like what? I mean, they are just going to town on this guy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's nuts. All right. Speaking of Trump was on with Sean Hannity. There was a town hall. I actually don't know if this is a new one or if this is just new footage from like the one a week or so ago where it's just now getting some play. But there was a woman, very loyal Trump follower, who wanted to ask a question. And she wanted to ask a question, which I thought was so funny, about how Trump's faith has grown. And you can definitely tell he was not expecting that question. I will leave it to you guys to decide if he actually ever answers it. Here he is.
Ma'am, come on up. Final question. What's your name, ma'am?
Barbara Harris.
Hi, Barbara.
And I am from South English, Iowa. And President Trump, I am so glad you're here, and I feel so blessed to ask you a question.
My honor. Thank you.
My question is, how has your faith grown since you decided in 2015 to run for president? And who has mentored you in your faith journey?
Great question.
It's such a great question. I've seen so much heartache and turmoil. I was a developer and I did other things, and I had a wonderful life before all this stuff. I didn't know what a grand jury was. I didn't know what a subpoena. What is a subpoena? I had a wonderful life. I'm so glad. They asked me the other day a little different question. Are you glad you did it? You had a great life. Are you glad you did it? I couldn't be more glad. I am so happy I did it because I've made America great. We can do it again. Right now, we are not a great country. We are not a great country. But I've gotten to know, because of this, evangelicals, I know so many people, and they feel so good about themselves and their family, and they base it on religion. I had never had that kind of an experience where I got to know so many. And Franklin Graham and Paula White. I know so many people that are so incredible, religious people, and not just Christians, not just evangelicals. When I look at the Catholic faith, you take a look at what the FBI, look at what the FBI is doing to Catholics. They've made them like the enemy. They've made them, it's horrible. How could a Catholic ever vote for a Democrat or a guy like Biden again after the experience that they're going through? But I've met some of the finest people that I wouldn't have had the privilege of meeting if I weren't president, and they're religious leaders, and they really are incredible people.
Do you think she was happy with that answer?
Well, I'm still waiting to see how he has grown in his faith.
And who is
he's
who
met
is
a
mentor?
lot of people.
Yeah. And who was his mentor in that journey? Yeah. Like who was the person that, I don't know. It's It was a little, I just wonder if she was happy with that answer, because I probably wouldn't have been happy with that answer. I would have been like, okay, I've got like one shot to ask him a question and I want him to give me an answer that I'll remember like the rest of my life, right? Because you're like, this is it. This is the only time you're ever going to be able to talk one-on-one with President Trump, right? And he didn't answer the question. So that's a little disappointing. Because
well, clearly faith is a very important thing to her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. That's what she wanted an answer for. She wanted to talk to him about that specifically and not about,
Kendall says it's an inappropriate question. I don't know why.
Really?
It's inappropriate.
Why would it be inappropriate? I don't know why that would be inappropriate. He could have answered with, that's my business. If he thought it was inappropriate, he could have said, I think that's an inappropriate question. I'm not going to answer it. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. I just think he was utterly unprepared for it and had he hasn't grown in his faith. I think that's clear because otherwise it wouldn't have been a 2-minute answer about how he met a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he's also, I think on Truth Social, there were at least 3 different videos, all very short. You know how he puts out just like these little 60-second videos. And at the end, he's like, thank you, which is always my favorite part. 3 at least about just attacking DeSantis. And so I will just present this without comment.
Like Ron DeSanctimonious now. They won't like him any better 6 months from now with the start of primary season. The more people get to know him, the lower his polls are going. He's now in the mid-teens and falling fast. He will soon not be number 2. Looks like it won't happen much longer, but he deserves it because he's a very disloyal person. Make America great again. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, he deserves it. Why is he so fixated on DeSantis? He just is so mad at him for not kissing his ass.
I don't know. Well, it's interesting because he does have a point about how DeSantis may not be number 2. Vivek is like they're neck and neck at this point.
They're right. They are neck and neck.
So the question is, will he be attacking Vivek like this, or will that be off limits because Vivek is, he's a minority technically. He's got the brown skin. Yeah. So like, will Trump go after him when he's starting to creep up to?
I don't know. He has a special hatred for DeSantis for some reason.
Because of the loyalty issue.
I guess it's the loyalty. Like Vivek has never broken. Vivek has never, I don't think he's ever promised him anything, or they've never been in a situation where, he's had loyalty to him or there's a perceived disloyalty. So I don't know. I don't think he has the same sort of like just seething hatred that he has for Ron DeSantis.
I mean, it is seething.
It is so seething. It's like, God, calm down, dude. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
If the screen that you're looking at right now looks weird, you are not alone. It looked weird to me and Daisy too. This pairing of DeSantis and Russell Brand.
Odd. It's like that whole one of these things does not belong. It's like does not look like the other. That. Yeah. He's such a hippie. Not that I wouldn't like to hang out with him, but I mean, it's just he's such a hippie, and then DeSantis is not.
Not a hippie. Just it is a very strange.
Yeah.
Just to see them together on
the
same screen is very odd. So he did the Russell Brand show, and Russell Brand asked him to talk about January 6th. And so that is what you are about to hear.
I wonder what you feel in particular about the protests around January the 6th. Do you think that they were insurrectionists as described? Do you consider them to be protesters? What do you think about the subsequent funding that the Capitol Police received, and how the Democrat Party in particular has used these events to enact more power and to control media spaces?
Well, I think it's ridiculous how much money that they pumped in for the Capitol Police. It was not an insurrection. These are people that were there to attend a rally, and then they were there to protest. Now, it devolved into a riot. But the idea that this was a plan to somehow overthrow the government of the United States is not true. And it's something that the media had spun up just to try to basically, get as much mileage out of it and use it for partisan and for political aims. And so I know there were a lot of people that were there who were just there. and they didn't have any designs on doing anything. And so we just have to be honest about it. If somebody is honestly doing an insurrection against the U.S. government, then prove that that's the case, and I'll be happy to accept it. But all you're showing me is that there were a lot of protesters there, and it ended up devolving, in ways that was unfortunate, of course. But to say that they were seditionists is just...
It's just wrong.
And I agree with that completely. Yeah. I think a lot of us agree with that.
How did Tucker put it in such a perfect way? A spasm of rage or something is how isn't that how he said it?
Something like that. It was something along those lines. Yeah. Which was exactly what it, like DeSantis said, it just devolved into it was a horrible, it was a nasty riot is what it was. It just devolved. And that happened because I too, I know somebody that was there that day, just on the, way far away from where all that happened. And she was like, it was like a love fest every place else, people were, but I'm sure that she's been investigated now for, just her bank records and stuff, because if you were there that day, you're just an evil terrorist, right? You're a right-wing, awful, evil terrorist is what the government wants to paint you as. And it's like, seriously? I mean, it was not to belittle it. But it was a riot, but that's precisely what it was. I don't think these people went in there and planned to do anything.
Right. Well, and it definitely wasn't however many thousands of people were there. They weren't like insurrection. Let's take down the government. That was never what that day was about.
But that's how it's been painted.
Right.
That's precisely how the media wants you to think it went down. And it's just not. That's just not how it happened. And then we saw, obviously, when Tucker brought the tapes out, when we started seeing, actual footage, man, it's like they just lie to us. So many lies, which goes back full circle to that. This is why people are hungry for the truth.
I know everybody's like cringing because they see Mike Pence on the screen right now and they're like,
look at his face.
F that guy, whatever.
Look at his face.
I think they're going to I think they're going to like this clip though, because you can tell how absolutely uncomfortable Pence is by the fact that Dana Bash is asking him whether or not he has achieved the required number of individual donors that it takes to make the debate stage next month. So it's 40,000. You got to have 40,000 individual donors in order to make the debate stage. And she presses to see where he is on reaching that figure, and watch how he dances.
Republican debate. It's just a month away. How far are you from reaching the 40,000 donor requirement?
Well, we make the polling requirement very easily, Dan. I'm very humbled at the support around the country, which is one of the criteria. But yeah, having 40,000 individual donors, we're literally working around the clock. Got about a month to go. I'm confident that we'll be there. People every day are going to MikePence2024.com and donating even $1 to get us on the stage. We're not offering kickbacks. We're not offering gift cards. We're not even offering soccer tickets. We're just asking people for their support, and we're getting support all over the country.
How far along are you?
How
close
couldn't be more
are you?
grateful. We're making incredible progress toward that goal. We're not there yet, but then I promise you, when we know, you'll know.
And you'll make it.
We'll make it. I'll see you at that debate stage.
Okay. Right. I don't think he's going to be there. I think there's going to be 6 people on the debate stage. I think it's going to be Trump, DeSantis, Haley, Vivek, Tim Scott, Chris Christie.
That's what we know for sure is they've already made it.
Those 6. That's it.
Except
I don't think
Trump won't be there.
Okay. Well, I still have hope that he's going to be there and he's going to do the right thing. All right. And then we've got, hold on, Doug Burgum.
I forgot about him.
He's running. He's still running for president, you guys. Asa, I can't remember. What's his last name? Asa Hutchinson. Will Hurd from Texas. He's also running. Remember him? Larry Elder. And then Francis Suarez. All those people. And then, oh, wait, there's one more that this morning I was like, we got to add this guy to the list. He's also, I think, from Texas. Ryan, is it Binkley or Berkeley?
Binkley. And you told me this morning and I was like, who?
He's running for president. Ryan Binkley is, you guys.
It's this guy.
That guy. He's a pastor, Texas, I think businessman, pastor. Yeah, and he put like a bunch of his money in himself to.
Where did he come from?
I have no idea. We've been doing this for a long time, and you think I would have heard? And I live here. I've not heard of this guy. Have you guys heard of this guy?
Somebody
said Perry Johnson is also. Who's Perry Johnson?
Perry Johnson?
Who's that?
Who in the world? I have to look that up.
Harley Cat thinks he's kind of hot. Who does he look like, Mock?
So you know how I always combine people to make a person?
people. Harley Cat.
Daisy said he kind of looks like Rick Perry, and I was
a
like,
little
you know
bit.
what? He looks like if you took Rick Perry and fused him together with Anthony Scaramucci. Tell me that's not him.
Oh, if they had a baby, it would be Ryan Binkley. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is Scaramucci and Perry
a little bit
together.
Fused together. A little bit. I can maybe get on board with that. I could maybe, together if they just had a baby. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some dude named Perry Johnson running for president.
Dude,
what in the world?
Are you going to show him to us? Because this is the thing. Perry Johnson. Who is that guy?
He's a self-made businessman, problem solver, and quality expert from Michigan who helped save the American auto industry.
Not a chance in hell.
And he looks like that guy from remember Love Actually, the old rock star?
Yeah, he looks a little bit like that.
Looks like.
He kind of looks like the guy in he looks like one of the fishermen in The Perfect Storm to me. If you put those two together. So if you put those two I don't know who that actor's name is. You put those two together and you get Perry Johnson.
But also with like just a dash of Christopher Walken.
A little bit.
Like a spoonful.
Maybe just a smidge.
Oh my, no, he can't be president.
Look at his face. He's so happy. He's just, he's so delighted, you guys. Anyways, that's who wants to be your president. Look at him. Look at him with his sunglasses and his, hey, everybody.
Oh my gosh. So many people are
What is happening? I know.
know.
This is just crazy. These people running for, but thinking they have a chance. Like to have that kind of confidence, to be like, yeah, I think I could run for president. I think I could be the leader of the free world. That MFer's not real, Laura. He's like, I don't even know.
Chasing Grace, thank you. Chasing Grace says the government fears January 6th to stop a revolution.
I mean, they want us to be in our place. There's a point to be made there. They want us to sit down and shut up. They don't like the RFK. They don't like all this. There's a general stirring though in our country. I think that things are stirring where there's a feeling of unrest, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. And I just can't even imagine how much worse it's going to get on election day.
Yeah, oh my God.
I don't even want to think about it.
I can't even think about it right now.
We do have an update on the U.S. soldier who apparently defected to North Korea. Here is an updated report about him.
Absent without leave. That is the Pentagon status on the American soldier who bolted into North Korea Tuesday. But the White House says U.S. officials still have no idea where he is or how he's doing. Private second-class Travis King is believed to be detained somewhere in the country after running away from a tour group on the South Korean side of the demilitarized zone. King was reportedly set to face disciplinary action in the U.S., but he skipped his flight back to Texas and booked the tour instead.
He was facing additional administrative action, but I'd leave that to the Army to speak to what exactly that was. But what I can say is that from what we know is that when he was being escorted to the airport, his escorts were not allowed to go beyond security.
There are several reports that King spent a month and a half in a South Korean prison for failing to pay a $4,000 fine on charges that included damaging public property. U.S. officials say they have reached out to North Korea but have not received a reply. The State Department describes King's return as, quote, an extremely high priority.
So it's a super high priority for us to do that.
Yeah,
like
that's like a real winner that we.
This is the thing.
Endless time, resources, and money on.
This is the thing. So it's a high priority. Okay.
It's a high priority.
The guy willingly went over there.
Exactly.
So maybe we should just be like, okay, bye.
It wasn't as though he were captured and taken by force. He willfully he danced right over the line and happily went to North Korea. So in my view, FAFO.
Right. I mean, it's like dumb people are going to dumb people, right?
Yeah. And so speaking of dumb people, the TikTok nurses, the dancing nurses are back. You know how they like danced all their way through the COVID crisis with promoting vaccines. Now They have a brand new song to dance to and new lyrics to a version of Staying Alive that has to do with climate change.
Oh, God.
Prioritize the biggest risk. Fires, floods, and extreme heat. But more than just like that. So come on, you fossil fuels. Stay bloody with renewables. Come on, kids, pay the price. Ignoring scientists' advice. Leaders should be done to stop the fight, so we stay alive. Stay alive.
Oh my God. This is so embarrassing.
We all want to stay alive. Stay alive.
This has got to be a parody.
I don't think it is. Oh, it gets better.
What is happening right now? What are you making me watch?
This is the performance art aspect.
What, before it wasn't? What is even going on?
See, all the people are dying of climate change.
You've got to be kidding me with this crap.
No, this is not made up. This is happening.
Does it say malnutrition on it? It says malnutrition on that certificate. Hemorrhage, assault.
I don't know what
These people are sheep. Oh my God, I cannot. Like, what? And the dancing. Are you serious? I mean, oh my God. Yeah. What? When is a meteor going to hit us?
Where is the sweet meteor of death?
Where is it?
Where is it?
These people, shouldn't they be in helping patients? Shouldn't they be inside?
Well, you would think that they were busy because I heard that there were shortages of staff. So
you think, and how long did it take for them to rehearse that?
I don't know. Marcus Drake has sent us a super sticker begging us not to ever show something like that again.
I mean, my God. Imagine what those people were like in high school.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
I know your daughter and lots of girls across the country saw Barbie this weekend.
Yep.
It has been a smash success, raking in $70 million on opening weekend. Just going completely gangbusters. I did see Ben Shapiro set Barbies on fire in protest of how bad the movie was after he was forced to see it by Daily Wire.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't set Barbies on fire. I mean, because I have old Barbies that are, I liked Barbie.
Oh, yeah,
I liked Barbie back in the day. Why would you set Barbies on fire? That's not, it's like kind of.
Well, I guess it's in protest of how woke the film is. I have no intention of seeing it, so I cannot comment on how woke it is. I just am reading a lot about how woke it is. And so there's been a lot of reaction by conservatives that it's just awful and terrible. And AOC reacted with a tweet about it saying she just loves to see it. She loves to see Republicans up in arms about it. And so Tom McDonald responded to her in his own way, and it is delicious.
So the Barbie movie dropped and everybody's talking about it. AOC tweeted that she loves how upset Republicans are now that Barbie is too woke and claims that conservatives essentially want Barbie to go back to being some sort of oppressed housewife. I don't mean to take sides here, but I'll go with the Republicans who want to take away Barbie's fictional right to vote over the Democrats who want to give Barbie a wiener. I've been seeing this a lot lately. People on the right that get upset when cartoons and movies go woke, and the left will be like, it's a fictional character. Everybody knows it's a fictional character. The problem is that these fictional characters are being consumed by real children. This wokeism that's plaguing America that you're putting in content geared towards children, these are ideas and concepts that are difficult for an adult to keep up with and understand. Why are you presenting them to children who are struggling to learn the months of the year? This is the bottom line. Folks with children are concerned that you're going to turn Barbie into Bobby and confuse the out of their kids just to prove how woke you are. Barbie is for little girls. They have a tough enough road ahead of them now that men can compete in women's sports and be Woman of the Year. So no, AOC. Conservatives are not mad at Barbie. They're annoyed that you've wokeified another historic piece of American pop culture in an attempt to woke wash children. And that's bullshit.
Yeah. And that's true. I can get on board with that. Now I asked my daughter, I'm like, did you like it? She's like, it was fine. She's not really into movies to begin with, but she was like, it was fine. She and her 3 other girlfriends got to wear pink and go and have the day together. Right. And that was just part of their day. And she goes, really, I just like the costumes the best. I like seeing what they wore. So I think a lot of this comes down to parenting, you guys, especially maybe it's not even just a young thing. If you don't want your young girl to see this, then don't take her. but as a 13-year-old, I'm like, okay, well, you can go, but here are the things that I've heard about it. And I told her, I'm like, it's anti-man, it's this, it's that. They're going to try to, I'm not going to see the movie. I really don't have a desire to see it, but she went to see it with her friends and one of the mothers, who I'm pretty sure is a conservative. And when I asked the mother, what did you think of the movie? She goes, it was really, really weird. It was just an odd movie. It was odd is what it was. It wasn't what I expected, so to be a Barbie movie. So I think a lot of this is you've just got to, with everything in the world today, as a parent, you've just got to tell your kids they are trying to get to you. They're trying to brainwash you. They're trying to tell you how to think, and don't do that. You need to think critically for yourself. You need to be strong of mind. You just have to teach your kids to discern what is, and you did this too, Mock. I know you did it with your son. You have to teach them to discern what is right and what is wrong, and how people are trying to manipulate them,
right?
Mentally, because it's going to happen every day. It's not just with the movie; it's with everything nowadays. And so you have to arm your children with more than just common sense, with the armor. You know what I'm talking about? The armor. You got to make sure they put on the armor and they understand what's right and what's wrong. And it's parenting, man. That's what it boils down to.
Do you guys remember last week when we talked about NPCs, this new fad that's taking hold of TikTok and other social media, where people will sit in front of the camera and get paid tons and tons of money for behaving as though they are AI or robots, and they're just taking commands from people on what to say and do. And I was horrified to see this on TikTok, and just the fact that so many people are doing it, and the fact that there's such a huge market of people who are willing to pay others to behave this way is terrifying. What you're about to see is the angle of someone doing this from the husband's perspective. So he is recording his wife or girlfriend. I'm not sure if they're married or what, but he's recording his girlfriend or wife making one of these videos. And so you'll see how dumb she's behaving. And they all do this thing where they go like this, because this is what the robots do in these video games. They just kind of always make this motion. So she does that. And then you'll hear how weird she sounds. And then at some point, the husband is loud enough, making fun of her loud enough that she has to confront him. But when she tells him how much she's made, that's what I wanted you guys to get out of this.
Roses. Thank you, Jose, for the roses. Thank you. Thank you
Oh my
for the
God.
ice cream. Woo! You got me feeling like a cowgirl. Thank you. Welcome to the live.
God.
Thank you for the roses. Gang, 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 gang. Welcome. Thank you, Jose.
What is
for
she
the roses.
wearing?
Thank you. Woo! You got me feeling like a cowgirl. Woo! Welcome. Gang, 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 gang. Welcome to the live.
All right, we done. We ain't gonna keep doing this.
Babe,
What?
for the past hour, I made $2,000
$2,000.
doing this.
You lying?
I'm serious.
And it's totally true. It's totally true.
Yeah, I mean, they can
I
make
just
him
had for fun, because
Isn't that the greatest? I know. It's so great.
Can you ever look at Montana the same way again?
Never.
Ever?
You cannot. He's totally sniffing Idaho, you guys. He's sniffing Idaho.
Anyway,
yeah,
that's a
but
thing.
they make so much money. But look what they
So
have to
much
do.
money.
Look what they have to do, though.
Oh, I mean, it's humiliating.
It is so humiliating. And like, this is the thing. I'm sure a lot of women would be like, it's empowering because they're making so much money. It's empowering. And screw the guys that are paying for this, right? It's sort of like stripping. This is the thing. They'll say, well, I mean, it's empowering for the woman because now she has a ton of money. So that's the impact. No, not really, because she has to humiliate herself.
Yeah, she has to degrade herself in such
to
a
make right to make the money. So how is that? What's the message there? It's not empowering.
And why are there so many people who want to spend money degrading women? I mean, it's all related again to how many people there are in the child sex trafficking rings. Like, how is there this much of a market? There's a guy that I've been following lately on Twitter who is in Colorado, and he runs this business where he catches pedophiles, kind of like Chris Hansen back in the day. He will pretend as though he's a 13-year-old boy or girl, and have these chats with these dudes. And then once the dudes agree to meet up with the 13-year-old, it's him who meets up with them. He gets them on video and says, you're either going to call your wife or your job or whoever right now, or we're calling the police. It's your choice.
Yeah.
And then these people, I mean, but there are so many. You could do this forever and ever and ever, and you would never run out of creepy dudes.
Yeah. And the one, like, I think you sent me the one where he had to call his wife, and they've been married for decades. I mean, probably 30 years. 30, and he had
no idea.
And he called her, and he was just emotionless about it. And she is sobbing hysterically on the phone, just sobbing about the fact that this guy is just a skeevy pedophile. Like, I mean, this is the thing. Like, there's so much sickness in the world, and some of these people just have no idea who they're even married to. You know? It's gross. It's so gross. And somebody said, I just saw a comment. It was a while back, but somebody said, it's not like she's doing porn. You know, she's just out there doing whatever that was that she was doing, that ridiculous crap that she was doing. But the thing is, it's okay. She's not doing porn, but it's still completely demeaning what she's doing. It's still degrading. I mean, there's somebody like telling her she's acting like a robot, like on a screen. Look,
on command.
On command. Somebody is like dictating to her what to do. It's a fetish is what it is. It's just another form of a fetish for some weirdo dude to control a woman, or a woman to control a woman. I don't know if I guess it's not limited to gender, but some other human being is controlling that human being. Not okay. And it is a slippery slope.
Yeah, it's just vile. And it's so common. Like, there are so many people that are doing this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. And yet there is still whack to be talked about.
Yeah, this is crazy. I saw this yesterday, and it's just a liberal that has her baby, this sweet little baby, and I guess the baby's gonna pick its own gender.
And this mother believes it already has, which this is psychotic behavior, and it's so damaging to kids. And I just
Riley,
I know, I hate it for the kid.
Mommy has a question for you.
Oh my God.
People keep asking, and so I thought maybe you could answer instead of Mommy.
Seriously?
Don't squeeze your foot then. Okay, so here's the question. Are you ready?
Oh my God.
Are you ready? Riley, are you a boy or a girl? Are you a girl or a boy? Yes. What is Riley? What are you? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Are you a boy? Yeah. Are you a girl? Yeah. Are you both? Both. Both? Okay, that's fine. You can be both if you want to.
Oh my God. He has no, like...
Is that Spider-Man?
He doesn't even know, like, his sock. He can't...
He has no idea what she's saying.
He can't even talk yet. And she's asking him these questions. I mean, are you kidding me with this? It's out of control. And you know what drives me really crazy about this stuff is that liberals would be like, oh, this isn't happening. None of this stuff is happening. Like, Republicans, you know, conservatives, right-wingers are just making this stuff up. This isn't happening. This is like these crazy people aren't doing this to kids, blah, blah, blah. And then I see more and more of these videos.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're endless. You could just go to Twitter and just spend hours finding videos like this of these whacked out people imprinting their kids like this. You know, this is child abuse.
It is. It's just messing them up so pointlessly, needlessly, and cruelly. I mean, that's the thing.
So bad for that child. I just feel I want to take him and just go, no, you just, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know.
God,
it's freaking whack.
Yeah.
It is time for some My Pillow talks, you guys. Please, please, please help celebrate the 20th anniversary of My Pillow by going to mypillow.com/chicks. Get the queen size My Pillow for less than $20 right now with their anniversary special sale. Just enter code chicks at mypillow.com/chicks. radio.com/chicks. You can enter it in the radio listeners square to be specific about it. And not only will you get discounts on the queen size pillow, but you're also going to get discounts on all of their other amazing products. We highly recommend the towels because there ain't nothing like them out on the market. They are fantastic. Check it out, mypillow.com/ First and foremost, you must see this.
I literally have been downstairs for an hour wondering where the fuck's my dog and why is she not coming downstairs when I'm calling her name. This is why.
Oh my God.
Oh, my poor me.
Her dog is totally stuck.
You're such a fucking idiot. Oh my God, I don't even. How do I?
What is she in? Is she in the sleeve?
Yeah, I think a sleeve.
She's like, I'm never. She's just a little wiener dog, a little dachshund that got stuck in somebody's sleeve. See, this is the thing, you guys, that would never happen to a Great Dane.
Never.
Ever.
That could
never
happen.
get stuck in a sleeve. Cash would never get stuck in a sleeve. I assure you.
But also, how much do you want a bear?
Oh, I saw this yesterday. I mean, it's like, I have Coda. Coda's basically like this. Coda is exactly like this.
Oh my God.
He's about as big and
So
clumsy.
cute.
They
Look,
are really.
And he's just like, hey.
He's like, oh, am I on camera? Hey. I mean, it is cute until he eats you.
I love the caption on this. I think almost more than the video itself. The caption reads, in case it's too small, it says, "Underworld demon accepts your sacrifice."
Oh my God, where is he going? Where is he going?
Into the depths.
You guys all need to check your couches immediately. Everybody, check your couches today.
You just never know.
Uh-huh.
Never know when they're in there. This is such a thing that would happen to me. What this girl is about to show you. So, do you remember that time that I ordered a dog house from Wayfair?
Yes.
And it came in pieces, right? It was like this plastic big, house. And so I was thinking, I'm going to be like so amazing and handy that I'm going to assemble this. And it was hard.
In my living room.
I'm going to do this. And I did it, man. I put the whole thing together. And once it was all together and I was so proud of the finished product, I realized I can't fit it out any door. I can't take it outside where it belongs.
It was massive, yeah.
Because it's bigger than every door in my house. So then it stayed in my dining room for quite a while until my husband finally took it apart and then just threw it away.
Did he really?
He did. He
was
did
like,
behind my back when he ordered a dumpster and I didn't know it. And then
he was like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Oh my God, that's hysterical. All your hard work.
All my hard work was for nothing, but at least I did it. And I had the self-satisfaction of knowing I did it. Now, this gal thought similarly when her dog destroyed one of her doors, her husband was at work. She was going to surprise her husband by taking care of the door and fixing it herself. And look at her go. She said, my dog tore up the door. So I decided to play Brinkley the Builder before husband came home from work just for this to happen. So she's cleaning up the mess. She's got herself a new door. She's going to assemble it. I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah, right?
Right? Look at her. I mean, she's got that door.
It's the wrong size door.
I mean, that would so be me. I cannot tell you how me that would be.
Yeah, that is not good. Not good.
Also, I'm going to have to mute part of this video because it's horribly naughty. But I did not realize this about the Jason Aldean song. So if you ask Alexa to play it and you have your explicit lyrics filter turned on, it won't play it.
Oh my gosh.
Listen to this.
Boy,
It's a really good thing that I have explicit content blocked on my Amazon Music because I do not want my kids listening to bad music. Alexa, play Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town.
I cannot play this while explicit filter is on.
Oh my God.
Alexa, play DMX, Bring Your Whole Crew.
Bring Your Whole Crew by DMX on Amazon Music.
And it starts to play. And then she said the lyrics are shown.
I mean,
well, I guess the lyrics don't get shown. Oh yeah, I got blood on my hands. There's no remorse. I got blood on my because
I
a corpse. I mean, this is fine.
Yeah,
this does not set off the explicit music filter.
I'm sure she could ask WAP to play and it would be completely fine. That disgusting Cardi B song.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can totally believe it. I can. This is the thing. This is the thing. I hate Alexa. I think Alexa needs to be burned with fire. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
So speaking of the whole Biden coming after your water heaters thing, this is just an older news report kind of about the power grid in California. And it just shows you how stupid all of these politicians' actions are that relate to control and not actually the environment. This just absolutely cracked me up.
On California, prompting state officials to ask electric vehicle owners. And a heat wave is descending on California, prompting state officials to ask electric vehicle owners to refrain from charging their cars in hopes of avoiding power outages. But putting out this call just a week after unveiling plans to ban the sale of new gas-powered vehicles by the year 2035.
Yeah.
What?
And a heat wave.
Just don't go anywhere, you guys. Just don't. Just be hot in your home. That, oh, by the way, we're going to go ahead and tell you that you can't have certain appliances in that home either. So but just sit there and we'll tell you what to do because we're the government and we're here to help. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just so ridiculous. Oh my God. I don't know if you've ever heard of Kelly Bove. Kelly Bove on Instagram, on Twitter, or I'm sorry, not on Twitter, on TikTok. She has border collies and I'm crazy about her border collies. They're all so cute and she trains them. She's like the best dog trainer in the entire universe. And I love watching her teach her dogs tricks and have them show them off. And so here's an example.
Beep, 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 spin. Beep, 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 turn. Beep, 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 turn. Beep, 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 sit. Tall. Beep, 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 sit. Down. Roll over. Sit. Wave.
So
boy.
good.
Isn't he just the best?
Yeah,
dog?
they're really, really good. They're so smart.
Oh
and they
my
require
God.
so much. They're so energetic, those dogs.
They want to work.
It's like he wants to do that. Yeah.
Mhm. They
Mhm.
absolutely
Whereas
do.
my dog does not want to do any of that. No.
Last one for today. This is hilarious. You know those ridiculous, like every time you go to a grocery store, any retail store now, and you get to the screen for credit card things and it says, do you want to donate $1 to this cause or that
Yeah,
cause?
what is that?
Right? So this guy is completely making fun of this in the best way ever.
Hey there.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Just follow the prompts on the card reader.
Okay. Would you like to donate $1 to save a dog? No. Yes.
No.
Double negative. No. Yes. Yes. No. No.
No. It's so just.
I think that your machine is.
Don't talk to her. Oh my God.
Got it. I got it. I was just trying to pay for.
No, I don't. Oh my God.
Hey there.
I mean, is that
Yeah.
just
It's
perfect?
accurate. It's so accurate. Every place you go, it's like, would you like to round up? No, I don't want to freaking round up. I don't want to round up. I don't even know what
Pennies
this
are
is
mine.
for. I'm at Taco Bell. Why should I be rounding up? My God, I came here because the food is cheap.
Oh my God.
I don't want to round up. Yeah, that and everybody wants you to tip them. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Like, why does the chick at the Starbucks window, why do I need to tip her? She's just handing me a drink.
And she's
know?
just cashiering, right? Like they don't make any of the drinks or anything.
Oh no, and then they're like, you have some prompts on the screen. And I'm like, yeah.
They're doing that in the drive-thru now?
They're doing it at the drive-thru at Starbucks.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like, and it's
God.
like 15, 20, 25%. I'm like, how about nothing? How about nothing?
You can say no though, right?
I mean, I usually tip them because it's like I feel pressured to do it. And I mean, I worked in the service industry. I bet I tip. I tip like what the lowest amount, but I'm like, your drinks are already like $1,000. You know, it's like I'm already having to take a second mortgage out on my house to pay for this drink, and now you want me to tip you, who basically just handed me a cup. That's what you did, and you want a tip for that? Like,
Maybe
I don't.
they split it with all the makers of all the drinks.
I know.
Not that makes it any better.
People are mad I went to Starbucks. Sometimes I go there occasionally against my will, you guys. Sometimes they're the only coffee around, and you don't understand. I need coffee a lot during the day. It's early.
Well, in the morning, you should be.
Oh, are you kidding? It's always Bone Frog. Always. Yes. But if I'm out, that's what Bone Frog needs to do. They need to open stores.
Ooh, oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yeah. We have Black Rifles here, and I just flip them off as I go by.
Yeah.
Black Rifle's the worst.
Yeah. Google that.
Yeah. Google it.
Black Rifle and not Bone Frog. Google that.
Thank
you to our folks on Locals who have sent tips today. I see Matt, I can't read the username. Math Nerd Knits said this is child abuse about your whack today.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's crazy. And what's in her nose? Did you not want to like just take I just want to go up to them and just yank it out of there.
I know. And they're also predictable looking.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're so predictable.
Like a cult.
There was another one, RJN0519 sent a $1 tip saying slavery is still going on too. So what are you doing about it now, Kamala?
Yep.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Thank you folks for.
She probably is saying that it's some sort of a right-wing conspiracy, that movie. Okay. Okay. You guys,
Anyway,
I don't think he's getting up. We got to bring it in. I don't think he got up.
He was up a lot.
He was up a lot during the beginning of the show. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but he was moving around. Right, buddy? Yeah, he's out now. He's so tired now. He was patrolling. I think he saw cows. And so he was patrolling, and I was trying to make sure he kept quiet. But anyways, you guys, it's Monday. We hope you have a fantastic start. Oh, thank you. Did you already thank Michael?
Michael, where's my? Oh no, Michael Stellar. Thank you. It says
thank you, Michael,
for making our morning. Aww.
That's very, very sweet. You guys make our morning, so thank you guys, and we will talk to you tomorrow.